Welcome to the Life, Legacy, and Leadership Podcast. Today's guests, we have double trouble. We call them the twins in the media booth car thing that we do. We have the Olivia Mayo.
Yeah.
And the Emily Groves.
What up?
Groves and Mayo. That's what we have
Groves and
here
Mayo
today.
show here today.
Y'all have no idea because normally they're behind the camera. You have no idea how fun these two are. So that's what we are going to see. And just to preview everyone, we have a treat for the end of the show today because as this is dropping, we are about to drop some new content that is coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Will y'all say what it is? You want to introduce it real quick?
Yes, so we're calling it Light the Fire. If anyone's ever seen Hot Ones, it's like that. They do like where they interview celebrities and ask them questions about they're eating really hot sauce. So Light the Fire, playing on the Brookhill terminology. We're doing it with like staff, and so really exciting. It's funny.
Tune into it. Really fun stuff.
All right, so that's going to be dropping in a little bit. We'll give them a little preview.
Yes.
A little
Have to.
taste. A
Have
little
to.
taste, if you
A
will.
taste, one might say.
One might say.
A hot taste.
And y'all actually participated in this.
Yes.
I participated in this.
Yes. Oh,
And
yes.
so this is going to be a lot of fun. And so today we'll give them just a little preview. That's y'all going to have to do this twice.
Great.
That is awesome. All right, so we want to get into some fun stuff even before we do that. So if you are watching this, do not turn this off. You've got to listen to the very end because the good stuff is at the end.
Yeah.
First off, let's do a little intro, little bio. Both of you are from where?
Lake Charles,
Louisiana.
And y'all never met in Lake Charles.
So I knew Olivia, but
I
she
did
didn't
not
know who
know
I
her.
was. I knew we both like did ballet when we were younger, so I knew her because my friends danced with her. But then I met at camp actually.
Yeah, I was a graduate and we're in crafts and she was my JC actually. And somehow we just like started talking and we both found out we were from Lake Charles. So
Yeah, I remember I was also with you and Betsy Johnson at Fishing Derby too. And so we met when I was when I was a JC, she was a graduate, and then the next year, I think it was week 1, or
No.
yeah, we JC'd. No, it was week 2. We JC'd week 2 together.
Yeah.
We did canteen together. Mayo lost her voice, and she'd be like, "Can I get a hot dog to window
it was
number
bad.
2?" That's exactly how she sounded. So that's where we like became friends, was camp, and then from there we started hanging out back home and all of that. So
That is crazy. You're from the same town,
Yeah.
but
I know.
meet at Brookhill.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy to
So-
think.
That's incredible. All right, first year at Brookhill, how'd y'all get here? Kind of go through that. Same time. How'd you hear about Brookhill? Go through some of that.
So I actually heard about camp because my sister went and
Claudia.
Shout
out to Claudia
Oh,
Mayo.
yeah. And I just remember, I think I was in like 4th grade, and that's when y'all sent in the little like pamphlets in the mail.
Yes.
And I was sitting there and she was like going through picking out her activities, and I was like, wait, I want to do this. And so I started picking out my activities, and my mom was like, okay, we can do it. And so I went with a group of friends, and that's how I heard about it.
Who was your squad? Who was your group that you went with?
Trinity Foray, who's
Yeah.
now Kitchen.
Okay.
And then a couple other girls that I went to middle school and like elementary school with, Mallory Coletta, I think you remember
yeah.
her,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then Carly Miguez.
Oh yeah, Meegs.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. I know them. How'd you get here? What's your story?
Abby Lichtenberg, the Lichtenberg family,
Oh.
classic. So
Now wait, that's weird because Claudia went
Yes.
with
Maddie.
Yeah.
Maddie Lichtenberg.
Yeah, so Claudia and Maddie went together. They were friends.
Okay.
And so Maddie, I guess, passed it down to Abby. Me and Abby are like best friends. I mean, we still are. But I remember it's actually funny now that I think about it because I saw her traditional cabin picture like in the room, which is funny because we take them now.
Yeah.
But I saw that picture and I was like, Abby, what is this? And she was like, oh my gosh, it's heaven on earth. You have to come next year. And like from then she told her mom, who told my mom, and they got me signed up. And I just remember like the first time driving and we were driving past Fun Swim and Abby was like pointing out everything. She was like, Emily's literally heaven on earth. And I was like, are you sure? Like, I'm not sure. And then I just like fell in love with it. So
All right. First bunkhouses, first senior counselors.
Palomino's, Laura.
I was in the Galicinos, which I could not pronounce, and I had Katie Bob as my first counselor.
Wow, we're going back. So that's Sonia, right? Laura
Yes,
Sonia,
Laura Sonia, yeah.
and then Katie Carruthers. We called her
Yeah.
Katie Rachel Carruthers because she switched her name about halfway through.
Oh.
Okay, so that's incredible. Can you name? This is one thing I like to ask. Can you name all of your cabin and counselors?
I think so.
All right, let's see it.
Okay. I only came 4 years.
Okay.
So first
you
year
have it.
was
Okay.
Palominos, and I had Laura, and then Kelsey Kempson. Is that, I don't know if that's
Yeah.
her last name? Yeah. AC.
Oh, no way. Okay.
And then
got the legacy.
I had my JC, I think was like Anna Claire or something like that. It was an AC name. Like
Yeah.
AC. And then my next year was Chestnuts with Lydia.
Okay.
And then the next year was Pintos with Kelly.
Yep.
And then
McDuff.
graduated
She,
with...
it's Lake Charles, right?
No,
Or
but she went to LSU.
Okay, that's right. Okay.
I'm not sure where she's from, Louisiana, but she's
Okay.
a Tiger.
Yeah, yeah.
And then graduated from the Bays with Sam Sloan.
Oh.
Classic. And Anna Hampson was my JC. It was her first week.
Wow.
I don't know if it was first week. It was her first year, though. She was my JC. And I remember being like, you're only a year older than me? Like, I thought she was so old.
Yep.
And then we ended up working on staff together. So
You had everybody.
yeah.
That's crazy.
That's like a pedigree, right? Like if
I
we were
know.
the Brookhill pedigree. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try my best.
All right.
So first it was the Galicinos, and then I want to say it was the Pintos with Mackenzie.
Okay.
And then I was in the Chestnuts with Lydia for sure.
Okay.
And then I was in the Palominos with Aaron.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And then there's
Two.
one more that I
Okay.
can't remember. But then I graduated from the T-Birds with Katie Lecoq.
Okay.
And it was honestly crazy to me because that was the first year I came to camp by myself. And I get in there and Katie's just like so welcoming. And she tells me there's another camper who's a graduate who's coming by themselves for the first time. And none other than Betsy Johnson walks in. And from there on out, we're best friends. And it's just crazy to look back on.
Yeah.
God, that is so fun. And we tell everybody you don't have to come with friends. Brookhill is actually the one place where it's okay to be by yourself because you're going to have instant best friends.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's more fun to kind of have these friends in this other place like this. And
Yeah.
so that's really
Sure.
cool. And you both JC'd the first summer right out of camp. Is that right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then now, when did we start the media? Because both of you work media, which I don't know if I said that at the beginning. Yeah, I think I did. All right, both of you work media. And did you ever have a media thought in your heart, like, hey, one day I want to do media? Maybe not even here, but did y'all even have any media aspirations in your life?
My mom had a Rebel, whatever, the Canon camera, which is funny because we make fun of it now, but I thought it was the greatest thing to ever be created, like ever. I would take pictures of like the pie that my grandma would make at her house. Like, I don't know, I'd take pictures of random things. So I always loved like taking pictures, and that was kind of when I was getting older, and I liked to like try and make my Instagram like artsy, like right when I became a JC. But I didn't ever think about it for camp because it wasn't really a huge thing.
Yeah.
They started it like, I remember you saying you found that picture of me the other day filling up the
Yes.
water
Yes.
at Hodgepodge. That was my first year as a JC.
Okay.
And it was like one of the first years of media. Y'all had just gotten like the 70D. I think it was Olivia Brewington. She took the picture. She was the only
Okay.
girl like on media. So it was her and Connor, I guess.
Okay.
And so then the next year at JC training, Tyler came to like in the kitchen. We were eating lunch, and he was like, if anyone is interested in media, like come see me. And so I went and saw him, and like it was like, I think Michaela was a media JC that year. Margaret was obviously. And then I was a media JC week 4 with Griffin. And like, that's when I was like, okay, if I work all summer at camp, like this is where I want to be for sure. So
Okay.
yeah.
So my first summer was the first year that they offered a JC in like media. And I remember Tyler came into the hub because that's where our JC training was back then. And he started talking about it. And I was like, oh, like this kind of sounds cool. I did yearbook in middle school and then took some photography classes in high school. So I was like, okay, this could be interesting. But I was honestly so scared of Tyler, and he knows this, I told him about it, that I didn't go talk to him. And I just did cabin that year. And then my next year as a JC, I applied for media and worked that. So that's kind of how I got
Like
started.
a lot of weeks.
Yeah. So I originally got hired for 1 and 3 media, and then I was a cabin week 2, and then got asked to go back week 7 and 8. And that was with like Margaret, Michaela, and Griffin. And it was just so much fun. And from there, I was like, this is what I want to do for camp.
I love that. And for those who don't know, Tyler is the head of media. That's who he is. We will be having him on the podcast, so everybody needs to look. Yeah,
Tie-tie.
probably this is our Yeah. Tyler's not working the button at all right now.
Not at all.
And so actually Tyler's going to be the last episode of this season. This is season 3.
Ooh.
We're early in this season right now, but it'll be the last episode. I just put that out there. So you're going to be May. So that's easiest for us to record. So anyway, so Tyler being head of media recruited you guys, and I love, I mean, it's crazy to what it's grown to now.
Yes.
It's wild.
Yeah.
I mean, how many do we have in media now?
We have 8
8.
full time, right? 8
Full-time.
8 all summer, 6 photographers, 2 videographers. So it's awesome.
And how many JCs?
We have
About-
3 to 4
yeah.
each week.
Okay.
So we're like a pack whenever we walk
It's
around.
so fun, like
huge.
walking around all together, and
feel
everyone's
very
like,
powerful.
"There's media."
I mean, you got your own golf cart. You got
Yes.
your limos, right?
Oh,
you
yeah,
got
2
two
limos.
two
limos.
6-person golf carts.
Yeah, it's huge. It's awesome. It's crazy, like to see like how much we've grown.
Because our first summer was only 4 all
Yeah.
summer. It was us 2, Griffin and Margaret, and we had 2 JCs maybe. And so now, like all of us in here, like packing the train car, it's crazy.
And just like creates so much room for like other creative stuff because I knew like our first summer was still one of the first years of media and we were still kind of figuring out a lot. But I feel like now after like a few summers, like we've kind of got the media team figured out and now it's like we have plenty of people to delegate and like literally everyone on the team is actually incredible.
Amazing,
like
yeah.
they're amazing. And so we've had like plenty of time this summer to put out some like really cool content and just like, I don't know, have more time to be creative, which is really fun.
One of the things that I've noticed is y'all have gotten a lot better at developing junior counselors, and I think you're discovering talent because when you're not sure what you need them to do, it's hard to discover their talent. But I love the projects y'all put them on, and you're able to discover the talent that they have to find more Groves and Mayos, right?
Yeah.
In what we do. How fun is it to pioneer something? Because to see it grow from what it was today, y'all are right in the thick of that. How fun is that to see the new equipment come in? Have y'all enjoyed that process?
I honestly love to like unbox the new equipment, and then Tyler will like call us up during the year and he's like, "Hey, what do you think about this new camera?" And we're just like always growing, and he really pushes us to be better. So it's really cool like pioneering that.
And also just like with the JCs too, like I was saying, we have such a big team now. Like we all have so much extra free time to really focus on them. Because before it was like kind of hard to just like, we're like focusing on our like logistical part of the jobs. But like now we get to just like take them along with us. And like, I mean, a couple weeks ago, we handed one of our JCs an iPad and we looked over and she had created like a masterpiece on it. We were like,
it's
okay,
crazy.
what in the world? So it's been cool. We've had like more time to really connect with them. And I feel like this year our JCs have like really been having like fun in media, which has been like
a
super
big
awesome
thing for us. Like
Yeah.
when we were coming into the summer, we really want them to have fun and enjoy media and like want to do this for all summer.
How cool is that? Back when y'all were coming on to staff, there wasn't this media concept like you said. And so, for some people, maybe Brookhill wouldn't have been their thing, right? So I loved it as a camper, but I don't know if I'm the wild, crazy kid person. But for media, and not just media, I know support has so many other avenues, and I'm going to try and have like Callie and some of the different ones on to talk about that. How cool is it though that different giftings can give to Brookhill, because everybody wants to give back, right?
Yeah.
That's why you put on the red T-shirt, is to give back,
For
and you
sure.
guys are giving back in your way, and it's a massive way because really you're sometimes the first version of Brookhill that people get when they're scrolling through social media.
Yeah, it's awesome. I think it's a really cool side of camp to be on. We always talk about it on Mondays with our JCs because a lot of them come from cabin and they're like, oh, we're not even going to be with campers. But it's like a completely different way because you have a tool now to connect with them. Like our cameras are literally tools. You can like talk about the camera with them. Like some kids are actually really interested in hearing about that. Or like you get the chance to like make them laugh, even if it's for a picture. And also since like we're not locked down to like a certain group of campers, we get to look and see like the one, and we get to like have one-on-one conversations like when other counselors need to be with like bigger groups, we get to like seek out the one, which I think is really cool. And like you go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
You're good.
One of my favorite things is just being able to capture like kids' first moments.
Yes.
So I know a lot of times it's like their first fish and they're so excited, and you being to like be there for that moment and capture it for their like parents and friends to see. Or like horseback riding is another great one. But
Yeah.
I just loved that part of it the most.
Yeah, especially if it's like a week of life change for them. Like,
Yeah.
even if obviously we don't have a picture of them like giving their life to the Lord on the hill, they have pictures from the week that their life was changed and that they gave their life to the Lord, which I just think is like super cool to do.
And they can like treasure that forever.
Yeah.
When y'all have the freedom, I mean, I see y'all going from this activity to that activity, and you really get to see more kids, you know,
Yes.
than everybody else, and you get
Yeah.
to see the different counselors and what they're doing.
Yeah, we
Even-
honestly get to see like the whole
Whole
camp.
camp.
Especially you go. Probably we're saying the same thing on
Cabin-
Mondays. Yeah.
Monday cabin photos. You literally see every camper, and that's what we tell our JCs also. It's crazy. I mean, you see the whole camp coming
On
through.
Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like we get to be like the first impression of camp. Like when our JCs are lining up the campers for the big cabin picture, like those are some of the first conversations they're having with red T-shirts. And so we get to initially see all like almost the whole entire camp, girls or guys, and then you get to be like one of those first impressions for campers, whether it's their first week of camp or just their first time at camp for the year. So I think it's really cool.
I love that. Let's geek out just a little bit and talk about some of the equipment that you're using, because there's some photographers we'll put in the deal that, I don't know, something that will draw kind of even some media-minded type people. Let's start out. Okay, you just were making fun of one type of camera. What are y'all using now?
All right, so I guess our best cameras that we have are the R6s. Maybe if you want to elaborate on that, I feel like you're the equipment girl.
I'll try and do my best. But we have 3 R6s, and they're kind of like one of our best camera. And then our film cameras are new this year, which are R5Cs, and those are just awesome. And then we have a 5D Mark III and then a 90D that we just kind of like shift around every now and then our JCs can use them too, especially when we're off. We have a bunch of great lenses, and then for our 2 cameras, which this is my favorite thing, we have these adapters, but we call them the Boosty adapters because they make the lenses even better. So I just think that's a great like addition to our cameras. But
Yeah.
What are all the different lenses that are,
so my personal favorite, which I will admit I do keep it on my camera a lot, but it's a 50 to 100, and it goes down. So there's like an aperture setting, and with the Boosty, it goes down to 1.2, which is just
Insane.
awesome. And it makes the
Insane.
background really blurry and like bokeh for the lights. It's crazy.
Yeah. Today, I actually took for the first time. So we normally take the 70 to 200 for water rides. It's like the big old lens. But we put it on a monopod because it's kind of heavy. But today I took a 24 to 105 on the boat, and it was so awesome because I never, basically like the numbers of the range of like zoom in simple terms.
Sure.
And so normally we don't even go to 200 on that big lens. So I took the 24 to 105 today. So I got to get fun pictures of them on like the tubes, and I got to get better perspective angles because I wasn't locked down to the monopod.
Yeah.
But then also I got fun boat shots, and with the booster, normally that lens only goes down to 4 aperture, but I got it down to 2.8, and it was incredible. They were my favorite water rides pictures I've taken ever today. So
And then we also have, I think, 4 18 to 35s, which are a little bit of a wider angle. That's what we use for the podcast a lot. And then for our Monday cabin photos, we use those. And then our other lens is a 24 to 70.
we have a couple 50s as
50s
well.
too.
So.
So.
Which for the podcast, what are we using here for the podcast? I know we got a Canon thrown on there, but we have 3 of these.
Yes, these are Lumexes.
Yep.
And
The GH5Ss. We have 3
With
of
the
those.
18 to 35s
18 to
on them.
35s on them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Which Canon was what all those other ones were, and I guess if you
Yeah.
know anything that they're saying, you know that those are Canons. Which Griffin that's what he wanted was Canons. So a little sarcasm for our videographer. And so here's what's crazy. All right, y'all just threw and spit out so much different stuff. Did you know any of that before you worked in here?
None. Actually, simply zero, zilch, none. I got to stop training my first year. This is my favorite thing to tell the JCs that freak out and they like don't know manual settings. Basically, if y'all don't know manual settings, it's like you get to set the lighting of your picture and it like creates the best quality of a picture instead of just shooting automatic and letting the camera automatically
I'm a
figure it
full
out.
auto kind of shooter.
Yeah. So I
shame, no
literally
shame.
didn't
No shame.
know that manual settings existed. We got to staff training my first summer, all summer, and Margaret was like, all right, manual settings, we're going to learn them. And I said, what?
Excuse me.
I was like, I thought we just shot on auto. Why do we have to do this? And then now it's like the best thing ever. And like, we use manual settings is because it's like when you know how to use them properly, you get to create like the picture, like you know that you're going to get the picture. If you shoot on auto, it could flip out and like not be in focus, or like if it's a sports activity, the shutter speed is way too slow and then it's like blurry. So it's like when you have the manual settings, you're in charge of taking the picture, like you're in charge of your photo, which I think is cool.
Yeah. So. I did know settings before I came in, like manual, and I knew a little bit about cameras, but just listening to like Margaret and Griffin and Tyler just talk, I really learned and like took in a lot of that information. And then just YouTube videos that Tyler would set aside for us. That's mainly how I learned a lot, but I did take photography classes in high school, so that's where I learned like the base of my information. But yeah.
So I come in every Friday night after graduation. It's Friday nights with Dave, and I like to go through the Smug Mug. Some of it's quality control. Y'all don't know I'm secretly just checking out the quality control. Tyler knows what I'm doing. But you know, one of the things when it was Margaret and the two of you learning was, you know, when I would pick one, I'd be like, oh, that looks really good. Who took that? And that's a Margaret. That's a Margaret. But you know, now that's a Mayo. That's a Groves. Yeah. And just how, I mean, I noticed just from how good y'all have gotten as photographers. And is this both of y'all's third summers?
Yes.
Third, yeah.
So, I mean, just how much have you learned? How worth it? How much have you learned, and how much has this job taken you to another level in that skill?
I mean, like completely. Like I said, I knew nothing before camp. And I think it's really cool, as Tyler always tells us, like this is one of the like hardest media jobs you'll ever work because it's so concentrated. Like the amount of content we're putting out a day.
Can you status on that? What do you?
You go.
So our goal is to do 200 pictures by rest time, and then 200 pictures by the end of the night, so like around 10. But this year we're putting out like 800 photos each round, and it's so insane. To edit all of those and just like in an hour span, it's just crazy. Like our whole team has gotten really fast at it. So,
but yeah, just having like a concentrated time to like really hone in on focus on everything. Like you could go and take pictures and then learn something from that activity, go to second activity, and they're already better from second activity. So it's like just the concentrated time that we spend really helps us to like accelerate like super quickly, I would say.
Yeah.
So.
And both of you, and this is really the thing that I want everybody to know, going into working camp, y'all were both in college, and I mean you still are, but both in college, and your major was what before you changed it?
I was a history major.
Yeah, and I was elementary education. Then I switched to accounting.
Oh.
Lord knows why. Worst decision I could have ever made.
It was a hard left turn.
Left turn. I was like, I like numbers. No, not like that. Not like that.
But now you've both changed your majors, and pretty solid you are now.
So my full major is mass communication with a concentration in integrated digital media, and then a minor in history.
Okay.
And mine is mass communications with a concentration in digital advertising, and then a minor in business. So.
And that is because of this.
That's because of camp. Yeah. I had switched my major. So I had freshman year, and then I worked my first summer after my freshman year. So I had done elementary education, then I switched to accounting. Well, then I went to camp, like fell in love with media, like loved everything about it. And then went back, and I had already scheduled my classes, so I tried to stick it out with accounting for that semester. And within a month, I was like, I am out of here. And I changed it and got all my classes set for the spring, and best decision I could have made. So,
yeah, for me, I was going into college, my first summer of camp, and I honestly did not know what I wanted to do.
Sure.
And I thought about history, teaching, stuff like that. And I stayed 3 semesters in history, so it was 2 summers at camp.
You hung on. You held on to that history.
I know. I thought so hard about changing, and I was just so nervous to take the final leap. And when I did, I was like, I loved it so much. And I was like, wow, I'm actually supposed to love my classes and enjoy college and feel like this information I'm learning is useful in my classes, versus before I didn't want to go to class. And I would just sit in my car, and I was like, here's another day. And now I love school. I love learning, all that useful information.
I love that. And there is not a business today that doesn't need media.
Oh, for sure.
This is now, just like it wasn't very long ago, people didn't have internet, and it's like, all right, if you don't have a website or if you don't have internet, you can't have a business. Now it's gone beyond that. Now it's content, right? It's like everybody has a website. That doesn't set you apart, right? Everybody has internet. It's like that's a given. But now you have to have content, and so now you need content producers, because there's let's be real. There's some places producing content, and you're like, oh my Lord, what is this?
Yeah.
What is this? And we need people like y'all that are young creatives that get it, right? And can really produce content. And that's what y'all have produced for Brookhill. That's what's taken y'all in your learning. You've also taken Brookhill to the next level. And it was a win-win. And so this was way worth it. Do y'all feel like so let me ask you this. Do y'all feel like you're ahead of some of your classmates?
Oh, 100%.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, we've had so much hands-on experience, and like we're building our portfolios like every single day. And like I said, it's such a concentrated period of time. Like I grow so much every summer and like learn so much every summer. And so I definitely feel like we're like a step ahead. And like we were just going through with Tyler the other day, like things we could include in our resume. And I was like, even like media aside, Brookhill in general has taught me like so much. Like there's so many skills we can say that we have that like other people who haven't worked at a summer camp or Brookhill specifically like can't say that they have. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah. And just the opportunities and the things that we have to shoot. So like last week I went with Mr. Mike to the hay field, and I got to shoot them like cutting the hay, and just like learning about it too was just so cool. But getting to shoot that, and then just like it was beautiful out there. So adding that to my portfolio was just a great opportunity that I wouldn't get anywhere else except for camp.
Now, one of the things I've seen y'all do this year, trying to be kind of on the forefront of things, is y'all have been incorporating AI. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I run the Instagram, and I really like to do like those posts where you scroll and it's like continuous. So before, I used to have to be super like, I still am, but I used to have to be like super intentional with like certain pictures I got. Like I would have to make sure that they were like a wider shot so I could use it to scroll across. But now mostly we just use AI for like extending pictures. And so we'll use like the new Photoshop, and I can extend the photo. And so that way when you scroll, it's continuing and you have pictures on top of that. So it helps out with like more creative stuff. I would say we don't necessarily use it for like our actual SmugBug. Like the pictures we put on SmugBug are like,
They're the pictures.
They're the pictures.
Right.
But for like creative content, we use it a lot. Like it'll be really useful if we ever need to do like website backgrounds, like to extend some sort of scroll or something like that. But
And then I know for me, I've used it before, especially if it's like a photo she needs for Instagram. If there's like something in the background I don't want, instead of having to like manually do it and on Photoshop, which takes forever, I can just circle it in
which side note,
AI.
Mayo can do. She's a professional, incredible Photoshopper, but AI
Hey,
just
don't
helps
hire
now.
me
But
up
to
too
save
much.
time.
Yeah, to save time.
Okay.
AI does it, and you can just like type in what you want, and it'll give you options. It's just a big time saver, honestly.
There are some weird things that like I have
True.
like done like remove person and then we'll replace it with like a hat, like not a human. Like it looks like it's supposed to be human and it's not. It's scary.
Yeah, sometimes we just play around with it for fun. And we're
I've gotten like
what can we
witches in the
generate?
back of my picture, like scary. Like what is that?
We're like, that's not it.
One of the things you said there's a lot you've learned. Could either one of you kind of put, you said you've obviously talked about the media stuff you've learned, but like what are some of the maybe leadership skills or business skills, or what can you kind of put that into words?
I feel like work ethic, obviously, is just
definitely.
like a huge one because, I mean, you're here for 10 weeks. In 10 weeks, there's probably going to be something that you don't want to do that you have to do. And just learning how to like serve the vision.
Oh, yeah.
And like be faithful with every single small moment. And like it's easy to do that at camp because you know what the vision is. Like, it's to get kids to the hill on Thursday night and like for life change. But it has trained me a lot because I know for like when I do get like if I get a corporate job or any other type of job that's like not necessarily in like a Christian atmosphere, I feel like I have that basis of work ethic to be like, I mean, there's the verse, I think it's Colossians 3:23 that's like, do everything as if you're working for the Lord, not for men.
That's it.
I've like learned that at camp, even though I am quite literally working for the Lord at camp, learning how to use that in even like a secular environment of like using every single tiny moment. You said that last summer, and I like every single week I reminded myself of it, of be faithful in the little, be faithful in like every single tiny moment, like whether it's actually just picking up a piece of trash or like something that's really hard and tiring. So
Yeah,
it's a
I
big
would
thing.
definitely say on the leadership side is just working together as a team
Mm-hmm.
and with different personalities, because especially with like JCs coming in each week, you're not going to have the same personality types, and to be able to get along with them
Yeah.
and then just to lead them in general, I'll use for the rest of my life for sure, that skill.
Yeah, definitely a lot of leadership skills too.
I think if you put those two things together, it will put you above everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, seriously,
for sure.
people today can't work together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if all you're used to is a screen and you're not used to sharpening those skills, because working with people is a skill.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not having real face-to-face conversations, you're not working on that skill.
Yeah.
You're not getting better at that.
Yeah.
And then to be able to work hard and do difficult things, you know, today we can't do difficult things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, I want everything to cater to me, and so I'm going to quit this job and find the
Right.
job that caters to me. Well, you'll never find that job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does not exist. Even if you start your own company, it can't be about you all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not going to work. And so those are two great skills that are going to separate you from almost everybody. I mean,
And I think we've like talked about it before, but we've already seen that, just like the work ethic side
Yep.
of it, and just like people we both work with, and it's just like, oh, like I'm used to the camp side of it and
Sure.
everyone being the first one to go to do it,
Right.
but now like when you go to the real world, it's not like that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's almost a second college, right? It's almost like you're going to two colleges, right?
Yeah.
You're going to the one during the year and the one during the summer. Now, the one during the
So
summer,
true.
it's 10 weeks, but we fit a full year of college
Oh,
into
yeah.
10
Yeah.
weeks.
Oh,
And if you can
100%.
if you can do 3 or 4 years of Brookhill,
Yeah.
yeah.
then you will be getting 2 degrees in
Yeah.
college. Now, one may not be a piece of paper you hang on the wall, but it'll be character traits in your heart that will put you way ahead of everyone
Yeah.
else.
And I think it's been cool too because admin just does a really good job of like giving us guidelines, but like allowing us to figure it out on our own. I think that's like
yeah.
a really big skill. People want everything to be perfectly laid out for them, but like learning how to be like creative and like figure things out on your own has been a big thing for me too. So
Definitely, like even this year we push like troubleshooting is what we like to call it. And before like they come and ask us, we push that they go and try to figure it out themselves, or like YouTube it, try and do it themselves first, and then come ask us if they still can't figure it out. Because that's a lot how like we learned how to do stuff, because we didn't really have anyone. We had Margaret, but there's only one of her. And so
It's only so much Margaret
I
you
know,
can spread around.
sadly.
I
So, yeah.
love that. I think we've said Margaret's name in about every paragraph
Margaret.
that
Right,
we've
right.
said. Yeah.
miss her.
I know.
Yes, we got to make sure she listens to
Yes.
this, because y'all are the fruit of Margaret.
No, it's
Definitely.
I mean, and obviously
so
she's
true.
the fruit of the ones who came before her, you know,
Yeah.
with Olivia and Hannah and some of the different ones that we had. But just like Griffin is the fruit of the Connors,
Yeah.
so to speak. And so I just want to brag on the two of you, because, you know, y'all have taken us single-handedly to another level. You know, Margaret, and what we ask everybody to do is to reproduce yourself, right? And so, you know, Margaret reproduced herself in the two of you. The two of you are reproducing yourself in the team that you have this year, just like Griffin is doing the same thing. And so the three of you is kind of the three amigos. You know, Griffin kind of goes with the Margaret group, and he goes with your group. That's
Yeah.
how long he's
Yeah.
been here. So we may have to have Griffin just stay here permanently, but I think that'd be okay with us. We'd make that happen. Tyler'd be okay with that. He can just room in Tyler's. Okay, so let's go ahead and move to a little preview.
Okay.
How about that? A little preview, and I'm going to let y'all preview it, and then I'm going to ask the questions here.
All right.
So,
You sure
Alright.
you don't want to do it with us?
Let's get these.
so I would, but it's going to ruin the episode.
Right.
All right. Yours
Okay,
is
okay.
all right.
Mine is
Groves
special.
Groves gets
Mine
the
is
special
special.
one.
She's gluten free.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
special one. All right, we got our wings.
All right. So explain if they don't explain the
Okay.
light. This is called light to fire.
Yes.
Yes.
But basically, we have 4 chickens. These are wings.
These are chicken strips.
And they are coated in our 4 hot sauces that we use. We use the same we have a special one.
We do have
Should we be putting these sauces out here just to give them a little taste?
Yeah, we'll get our sauces. But basically, we're going to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, and each one gets hotter as we go, and we answer questions as
Where do you want
we eat them. Here are our sauces. And we want to present our special sauce
our
that we
first
brought.
sauce is from
being
the
native.
Boots.
It's from the
Louisiana hot sauce.
Shout out, we won. Did you know that we won the College World Series yesterday?
Yes.
We were in
talking-
here cheering it on.
2 months ago, we won the College World Series.
Right.
This dropped in August. No, I'm with you. I'm messing. Go ahead. Yes. No. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. So we're gonna eat all four. They get hotter as they go. And we answer questions as we go.
Okay.
And yeah.
All right. And so I'm supposed to. I'm pretending to be
You're our
Jeb here,
host.
and so I'm your host,
Okay.
Jeb Pate here.
Water
I'm
here.
so nervous.
All
Hey,
right.
I'm
The
confident.
thing is,
in
I know
us,
how
you know?
bad that this is, and I'm just subjecting myself to it again. Why would I do
Like,
this?
why are we doing this to ourselves again?
All right. Here we go. All right. So you're supposed to be
Eat our
eating
first
this as I'm asking the questions.
All right,
Okay.
this
I think
first
we-
one,
yeah.
is this our Louisiana hot sauce?
I think this is.
Do I
Louisiana
ask the
hot sauce.
question
All right.
before they eat it or as they're eating it?
Think about it for a second. Let him get the taste.
Okay.
Let him start.
Okay.
I
So
gotta
they.
cheers to this.
Cheers.
Okay.
So this is our Louisiana sauce.
Louisiana, and it's first because I guess it's the weakest. Is that why Louisiana's first?
So yummy.
That was good.
And this is our chicken is brought to you by Wingers. So this is the first time we've had Wingers on the
Wingers.
show.
Shout out.
Shout out to the local Wingers. All right, as you were eating and letting that sink into your palate, the Boot Louisiana sauce.
That's
Right.
yummy.
That is
Right
really
here.
good.
All right, what is your favorite thing? It's really good.
Shout out.
gotta get more.
Okay.
Good.
This is also dinner apparently. Favorite thing that we do at camp. What is y'all's favorite thing? Can we say outside of media? Since obviously their favorite thing is media. Outside of media, what is your favorite thing we do at camp?
Definitely during the 2 weeks, Olympics.
Ooh.
I love Olympics.
Shout out 2 week.
For real. Just like the connection that it brings. And then I love seeing everyone's themes and like how they dress up. It's just such like a good like bonding and connecting time for cabins. And it's cool to see that from the outside also.
And how cool is the 2 week at the end of the summer for staff?
It is
It's a good
just-
change up, isn't it?
It's a good change of pace. It's the best thing we've done.
It flies. The
It does
2 week
fly
does.
by, sadly.
Like you blink and then it's over.
I love
It's
that.
the best ever. I think mine maybe slightly different turn, but crucifixion obviously like that was
Oh,
huge and life-changing.
Now you're making
for
me look
You
bad.
got mayoed right there.
Gosh.
I just think it's so cool. I love on Thursday nights because we don't go to it because we're in here working. But last week I walked
Praying
out.
/ working.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So we go. I walked outside last week during it to just go to the hangout bathroom, and I like heard the music, and it was so cool to like sit. Like I sat there and I was like just listened and like prayed because I like knew it was happening. So it was just cool to know that like even when
Yeah.
like support is busy and moving, like you're just like the life change that's happening on the hill. I think is so cool, and it was life changing for me. So
I love that.
Carnival night is always a good one too, though.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for adding that one.
Honorable mention, Carnival Night.
Yes.
Okay, well, because of the pictures that can happen at Carnival Night.
Right.
Okay, favorite. Now let's go outside of Brookhill.
We got to eat our second one. don't we?
Oh, my bad. My bad.
right.
Oh,
Are
yes.
we-
Number 2, which one is this? The mule? Mule.
Mule sauce by Sticker
Cheers.
Mule. For those of you at home, that's the stickers we get for BR merch. Sticker Mule. Yeah, so they also have. If you don't want a sticker from Sticker Mule, you can get their mule sauce.
This one's good too. This one's good
Wait.
too.
Why is this good?
Did you pass me a paper towel with it?
Yes,
Thank you.
Me
I'm
too.
the paper towel provider.
That one's actually pretty good. I like that one.
Yeah.
Louisiana girls, this
I would
isn't
eat
hot
Babe,
sauce.
It's the Cajun in us.
Is that Cajun blood?
I love it. All right, as the mule is kicking, you like that?
Oh, that's a good
The
one.
mule's kicking. Thank you. Question number 2 would be maybe outside of Brookhill. What is your favorite hobby? Long walks on the beach. What is a favorite hobby?
I love to go hiking and spending time outdoors. Probably one of my favorite things, hammocking, just spending time in nature, things like that.
Bonus question: where have you hiked?
I think my favorite was the Grand Tetons National Park, and then Yellowstone was beautiful also. And then we're actually, I guess by the time this comes out, I'll be there. Zion National Park.
Okay.
We're taking a family vacation there. We're big national park people, hiking.
That's awesome.
I know. I love it.
But I mean, not hiking to that. I do like hiking. I don't do that often, but we have a lake at LSU, and like that's probably one of the main things me and my friends do. We walk the lake. It's like a 4-mile loop. So just being outdoors with my friends.
Yeah.
I just love being with people. So yeah.
Third.
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 Okay.
I'm learning
I
what
have
to
to
do.
say it. I'm slightly nervous
Okay.
because this is the bomb.
This is the bomb.
I like a couple weeks ago when someone was doing it, I like just touched my tongue to it and my tongue went numb. So
All right, so I'm
Here we
gonna
go.
put Da Bomb. It says
Da Bomb.
Beyond Insanity.
cheers.
Boom.
All right.
Just gonna be silent and watch this one. Is it Da Bomb?
It is the bomb. Wow.
Okay.
20 seconds. Give it 20 seconds,
20
and
seconds.
and the bomb goes off.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes. Caution. It says caution on here.
Definitely doesn't taste as good, but
Wow. Wow. My mouth's on fire. I'm gonna push past the beam.
All right, as
Oh
we're
gosh.
as we're getting into that.
hey, you got it. You got it, big dog.
Oh my gosh.
Question number 3, as y'all are totally focused.
Mm-hmm.
This is where it gets creative. If you had 24 hours in it, I'm sorry, 25 hours in a day. So if you got an
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh.
the bomb has
Oh,
exploded.
not my eyes.
Oh yeah, don't touch your eyes.
I didn't. It was my knuckle. It was my
Okay.
knuckle.
All right. Yeah,
Wow.
that's
the
a big
bomb
no
has
go.
exploded.
Okay.
Oh.
So back to the third question, as y'all are totally focused.
Mm-hmm.
If you had 25 hours in a day, you got an extra hour every day. What would you do with that extra hour?
I'm gonna be real right here. I would sleep. I would
TBH.
sleep.
Same. I think I would sleep too.
I love my rest.
But probably knowing me, I wouldn't. Because
Okay.
I'm really
Because
bad.
you're FOMO. Because you
Yeah.
get people.
Yes.
She's
I'm-
a big FOMO person.
I'll be sitting. Holy goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'll be sitting in the other room, like talking to Griffin or something.
And she'll
And
see my head peek around. I'm like,
she's like, "What you talking about?" I'm like,
And they always make fun of me because of my FOMO. So, oh my gosh, this is really hot.
All right.
I'm tearing up.
People have to check out the episodes of Light the Fire.
They
Y'all
do.
have
This
to.
is just a preview right here.
Just a little taste.
It gets brutal.
All right.
Wow.
Am I supposed to say this, Tyler? Before eating the fourth wing,
Oh, my
are
lips
you ready? The question is, are you ready to light the fire?
Oh, definitely.
We're ready.
I feel like I should have like an echo on my voice when I say light the fire.
Fire, fire.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I feel like my mouth's already numb. So what is this gonna do?
My lips are burning. No. Shout out my favorite sound ever. As below.
All right.
My lips are burning. Okay, here we go.
Here we go. This is Hot Ones. This one's called Hot Ones, The Last Dab. Is this like from the show?
Yes.
Okay. It's their special sauce.
Wait, this
from
one
the
tastes
show.
way better.
Yeah, it does, but goodness
You're almost
gracious.
out of this one. Yeah. All right.
So I'm
Hot
doing
Ones, The
ASMR.
Last Dab from the official Hot Ones show. All right. They are lighting the fire.
Ha. Okay. I feel
Wait.
like though
The bomb was worse.
you have a tear running down your face.
That's literally what everybody says. The bomb is worse. I wonder if the
I
bomb
think
just
that
ruins
this
your
one probably
taste buds.
is like inherently worse. But yeah, the bomb just ruins your taste buds, and I'm like, my mouth is already numb.
Right.
Oh my, I'm really sweating right now.
I feel like
Go
I
ahead.
have to eat the rest of this one though to finish the plate.
All right, so this is the last question as y'all are sweating, and this is the most like serious question. What's the best advice you've ever been given?
You got it. She's eating.
I'm chowing down.
Okay, well I'll say mine first because mine's not as serious,
Woo.
but it's gonna take a little turn. Floss every day.
Okay.
My dad. It's just a funny story behind it. I always tell people that.
Is your dad a dentist?
No, he's a doctor. But when he dropped me off for college, he goes, what did he say? He said, make good choices, like keep your relationship with the Lord, and floss every day. And I have flossed every single day since he had dropped me off for college.
Okay.
So,
I think he hoped you'd really taken the first one up.
you know, I mean, obviously, yes. The biggest piece of advice I truly have been given was from my parents, being grown up in a Christian household and them teaching me how to be a Christ follower, obviously.
Dad, I know you said make good choices, but the floss one
But
really
the floss
stuck.
one, it really just resonated with me. I floss every day. I have floss. I don't have my cross sweating right now, but I keep floss,
Okay.
She does.
and I'll like floss in between activities.
Okay. Wow, that is.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would love a popsicle about now.
Mhm.
I did eat all the chicken.
I'll take one too.
That
please.
is really, really good.
Oh.
I'm impressed. I'm
I had
impressed.
to do it.
All right.
Thank you.
Any advice
Cheers.
for you to end it, and then I'll have one last question as we end our Life Legacy and Leadership podcast.
Okay. I'm crying.
Here's to yours.
I'm good. Probably this is from my sorority. I serve on our exec board. And it's
So
just like finding
emotional.
your why behind your position. And like understanding why you're doing this and just finding the reason behind everything you do and that everything has a purpose.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
good.
I'll echo off of that too, because like for real, the thing that you said last year, like being faithful to every, like with the little, has stuck with me even in like college life. So like being faithful with my schoolwork, even when it like actually is the worst, like being faithful to every moment has been like a big piece of advice. My dad has really instilled that in me, working as if we're working for the Lord, not for men.
That's
so,
it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, God hired you. You got to see that no matter where, even your secular job, Christian job, whatever. I mean, I think all jobs are just jobs. You know, I don't care what the emphasis is. You're doing it for the Lord. I mean, God's called me here. Only God can take me away, kind of a thing. You know, people didn't hire me, kind of a thing.
Right.
So good. All right. Last thing that I want to ask you, and this is always my favorite. I love it. I love it. This has been such an emotional podcast.
It's just so emotional.
I'm sorry, guys.
The last question is, what does Brookhill mean to you? What does Brookhill mean to you?
I'm thinking.
Uh,
I mean, I was saved whenever I was 6. Like, I would say, actually, like, I, prayed with my mom one night. But Brookhill is when, like, my faith became real to me. And, like, it's just, like, taught me the importance of, like, intentionality with people. And, like, what actual true love is, like, for people. And learning that, like, through our love for the Lord is, like, an outpouring, is where, like, our outpour of love for others comes from. And so, because, I mean, that is, like, the whole thing that staff has taught is simply, like, it all boils down to love. And so, Brookhill is love to me.
I like it.
I would honestly say the same. I did get saved here in 4th grade.
Come on.
And just seeing that last group stand up was just so, like, emotional, and it was like, I want to be them. Just, like, make it the whole year, like, living for the Lord. They really just pushed me, and it grew my relationship with Christ. And I just, like you said, I think we had a staff training session about, like, learning to love people. Like, you can't just like them. You have to learn to love them, especially, like, the hard kids, the hard JCs. And that's really how you'll grow as a leader.
We don't have any fun at all, do we, when we work together? This is
It's the worst. It's so boring. No fun.
Yeah. We're, really
Y'all are
boring
so
We're
much
quite
fun.
literally on the clock right now doing this with you.
Yes,
so
you are
like,
getting paid to eat popsicles,
I know.
hot ones, and do a podcast.
I think it was our first summer. We went on the boat to take pictures of Griffin wakeboarding, and we were like, we're getting paid to do
We're
this?
literally getting
like,
paid to do
to
this.
ride
Yeah.
the boat.
Yeah.
Yes, and I cannot wait to watch Griffin wakeboard again too. Very soon. Hopefully, he is cleared very soon. That's coming up. Okay, all right. You guys are amazing. Thank y'all. Thank y'all
you for
for
having
I know
me.
this is the Life,
you.
Legacy, and Leadership podcast, and your legacy here at Brookhill is so obvious. Thank y'all for all that you've given. Y'all are amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Woo. My lips. Holy cow. My lips are like burning.
You just really
Can I have
got me,
another
David.
popsicle?
Really emotional.
I really want to finish.